welcome to my channel. My name is Jay, and in today's video I am going to be sitting down and chatting with you guys about my biggest struggles as a single mom. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So for me, the first thing, so number one, is coming to terms with the fact that I was going to become a single mom. So for me, I found out pretty early that I was going to be a single mom, but some people don't always have that luxury. Maybe your child is already here. Maybe your child is 10 years old. Maybe your child is 5 years old. But I feel like this may be, depending on who you ask, I feel like I was fortunate enough to find out at an early, like in my first trimester, that I was gonna become a single mom, just because it gave me the chance to kind of prepare for the life that was ahead, so I wasn't as blindsided as others. But so for me, coming to the terms with the fact that I was going to be a single mom took me most of my first trimester and a good portion of my second, just because I wasn't really planning on having a child anyway. But to find out that I was going to be having a child and raising that child as a single mom just kind of was really tough for me. So that was a really big challenge that I faced early in my pregnancy, and some of you may be in the early stages of separation or whatever your case may be. So that was really big for me, and just kind of sitting down and talking to my parents and processing made the world like a huge difference for me. So just coming to terms was a really big challenge for me. And I guess I can't really say that that's a current challenge, but it's a challenge nonetheless. So my second biggest challenge as a single mom is something that I wasn't really prepared for, and I feel like a lot of moms, single moms especially, face, is the stigma of being a single mom. So for me personally, I grew up in a single parent household with my little brother and my big sister. And even though my mom was a single mom, I never felt like I was missing anything. You know, I played sports, my siblings played sports, always had nice new clothes and things like that, and just like always felt loved as a whole, and didn't really question my mom about like the absence of my father, just because I felt so whole living in my mom's house, and the amount of love that she showed me and my grandmother and my family members. I just never really thought, oh, my mom's a single mom and people are going to view her a certain way. So when I speak about my son and his father comes up and people find that I'm a single mom, they find out that I'm a single mom, they kind of, like, their reaction completely changes. It's kind of like oh, I'm sorry to hear that, or oh, well, is he around? Well, at least he's around. That's good. And just those kind of reactions that I really wasn't prepared for. And some people may not think that's a challenge, but I feel like it's something that I've run into so many times. I kind of had to change my approach to how I confront people that kind of say that. So if someone's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, you know, trying to combat their response with something positive, and oh, no worries, there are worse things in life than being a single mom. So that's what I always say. So when people say that, I was like, I'm always just saying, oh, there are worse things in life than being a single mom. My son is healthy, I'm financially stable, his dad does what he can. So I don't think I was necessarily prepared for those kind of reactions. So it's kind of more so annoying than it is challenging. Okay, so challenge number 3, my third challenge, is finances. So I feel like as a single mom, it doesn't matter if you're making 6 figures, it doesn't matter if you make minimum wage. As a single mom, you're always worried about your finances, because if something does happen to your job or your income is messed up in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you are the breadwinner of your family. You're the provider for your family. So for me, just finances in general, always having it in the back of my head that, okay, I've got to save this much this month, because if something happens and I lose my job, I need to make sure that me and my son are stable for the next couple of months. And I caution some of you. I feel like I tend to do that a little more than I should, just because it tends to take away from not necessarily my quality of life, but how much I am willing to spend on myself and self-care. But I feel like as a single mom, that's something that we all, like as single moms, that's something that we all struggle with, just because you are the sole provider. And for me, I tend, with finances, especially since my son is growing up in a single parent household, I tend to overcompensate for the fact that he is growing up in a single household. So I go to Target to buy something and come home with like 10 items for Aiden that I know he doesn't need. He doesn't need any new clothes. He doesn't need any new toys. But in the back of my mind, it's always, okay, his dad's not in the house. His dad's not here. I have to go the extra mile to make sure that he's loved. And so I would caution you guys with that as well. That's something that I'm working on. I kind of noticed with myself before my child was even born, the amount of things that I was buying and just kind of just going overboard with the materialistic things, and kind of having to remind myself that my child needs love, he needs care. Materialistic things are nice, but they're not everything. So for me, learning not to overcompensate is a really big thing for me. Sorry y'all, I had to take a quick break because my child woke up, but I'm back. Okay, so challenge number 4, the fourth challenge of being a single mom, is missing your child or children while they're with the other parent. So for me, we just started co-parenting actively and sharing custody and visitation, about not full, like not half and half, but he gets his time. About 8 months ago, and I remember that first visit with my child being away was awful. I cried the entire time. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just so distraught. So for me, being away from my child while he's with the other parent has been a huge struggle for me and challenge. I am learning slowly but surely to take that as my me time to maybe be better at work, time to get to know myself, pamper myself, spend time with friends, whatever I can do. I'm getting a little bit better at, spending time with myself and doing things for me while my child is away. Or maybe y'all, like, I want to say 2 months ago, I took the time while my child was with his dad to finish up his bedroom, to finish up moving into my house. Another weekend trip, or another time while he was with his dad, I took a trip to Arizona and visited with some friends. So just finding things to do while your child or children are with their father is super beneficial. It's something that I'm still learning to do, but it's something that I'm so grateful and thankful that I've started doing, because it really has kind of helped me get back to me, and kind of spending some time with myself and for myself has been super beneficial. So I definitely recommend it. So challenge number 5, the 5th challenge, is losing myself in motherhood. And I think all mothers, no matter if you're a single mom, if you're married, if you're widowed, no matter your situation, this is something that we all struggle with. So I've noticed that even just on social media, looking through my page and like all my pages, everything that I do revolves around my son, and kind of just losing myself and as a mother and in motherhood. So when people introduce me or when I'm with my friends, it's always, oh, there's Jay, the girl with the baby. Or when I introduce myself, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a mom. So just always introducing myself as a mother first, and my sole focus the last year and a half has been solely on my son, and trying to get back to me is something that is this journey that I've been going on, and it's been awfully challenging and difficult to get out of mommy mode and kind of forcing myself out of that comfort zone, because being a mother has become my comfort zone. So just pushing myself to be better, do better, be different, do different things. And I say finding myself and finding Jay, but it's just been an incredibly beautiful journey, and I feel like I'm finding myself, and but it's not the same me. So I'm always saying, oh, I got to get back to me. But I don't feel like I can get back to that old person just because I do have a child now. But making those, like taking those steps and that journey to figuring out who I am outside of being a mother, I feel that being a mother is a purpose, but it's not my sole purpose. I feel like we're put on this earth to serve many purposes, and being a mother is one of my purposes, but it's not my sole purpose. And so kind of coming to the realization with that, because I remember when I gave birth to my son, I had a lot of different moms tell me, hey, you know, it's not about you anymore. This is your purpose. And just kind of realizing we can have multiple purposes in this life. And though being a mother is was one of my purposes, it's not my only purpose. So losing myself and being a mother is a huge challenge. And as you can see, as of right now, my whole vlog is about being a single mom. So I'm going to try to venture into other things as well. But right now, this is just kind of what I wanted to touch on. So that is a huge challenge and a struggle for me, and something that I'm still working on today. I think that's all I really have on that topic. Hopefully watching me and hearing me talk about my struggle with this will help some of you guys as well.